Hi guys, welcome to today's video. So as you can tell, I'm in my car. I'm not really going anywhere. I'm just going to Asda to get some essentials and I'm officially out of self-isolation. Yay! I feel a bit more energetic and I definitely feel better, so hopefully this is the tail end of whatever was wrong with me last week. Yes, I'm in B&Q car park, but I'm not here to buy anything because it's click and collect and I'm not here for any particular reason. I'm only here because I thought I would do the vlog in this part of the car park up the end because it's very, very quiet and it's only ever used for people who are doing their driving lessons and stuff, because they come up here and do their practice for their bay parking because it's very quiet. So that's what I used to come for my driving lessons. And it's funny because since I've arrived, about 4 people have drove by me, staring in the window, wondering what the hell I'm doing. So, and here comes another one. Hi! Anyway, so the purpose of today's vlog is literally just, I thought I would start it as a vlog style. I'm not going to take you to Asda with me because that would be boring and stressful actually, because people aren't doing social distancing once they actually get in the shop, which is really frustrating. So I'm going to take you from here to the house and we're going to do a vlog in the house. I'm basically going to talk you through the Photoshop elements of the Bailey's picture that I took last week and talk you through how I kind of put the whole thing together, and that should be quite cool. So that's what I'm going to do first and foremost. I've actually got an idea for another video for next week, and it's based upon something that I wanted to do as a graded unit when I was in college about 3 or 4 years ago. I wanted to build like a mini landscape and then photograph it the same way you would photograph a landscape, which meant you could get to control all the lighting and stuff. So I'm not going to go to that extent. Like I'm not going to build a full landscape because I don't have the materials, and I know I'm at B&Q, but I'm not going to. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make something a little bit more abstract and make more sort of abstract mini landscapes, and you'll see what I mean next week. It's very interesting. It's a really good concept and I'm quite excited to do it. In fact, I'm quite buzzing to do it. So we'll look forward to that next week. But this week we're going to go back to the house, have a coffee, and we're going to go through all the Photoshop that I did on the photograph. I'll show you that photograph just now. So we're going to go back and talk about this picture. Yeah, it's very weird out here. I wanted to do a vlog because I want to just put down how I feel just now. I'm currently sitting about, I don't know, 400 yards away from an Argos, and there's people information outside, and it's like something out of a George A. Romero film. It's freaking me out. It's very scary, it's very apocalyptic. And then there's me sitting in a car park vlogging. So I'm going to head to Asda, get some food, head back to the house, do the vlog, and I'll see you in about 3 seconds. So all of 3 seconds ago I saw you and I left you at Asda. So this is a very typical setup for when I start editing anything. Bacon bites, any bacon bites, cheaper the better. Phone, sweeties, and a glass of wine brew. This is my usual kind of editing setup. It's not typical of my editing setup. It's usually sitting on one of those IKEA plang chairs and being really lazy with a blanket. So this is it if I'm looking posh, or if I'm Skyping or doing any sort of Zoom meetings, I do it here like this. I'm just going to get the photograph up that I photographed last week, and then I'm going to talk you through how I put it together. That one? No, just me then. This is a really old MacBook I've got. It's a 2012 model, but it's still going and I'm not willing to upgrade just yet. So hopefully if I'm doing this screen recording thing properly on the MacBook, you should be able to see my whole screen just now and what I'm looking at. This is the very first image that I took, if you remember, when I was trying to get the highlights on the sides of the bottles. This is the very first shot that I started working with, and it took me a few attempts to get that perfect sort of highlight all the way down the bottle. Now as you can see, on the left hand side the highlight is slightly bigger at the shoulder, but it's quite easily fixed. All we need to do is go to the burn tool. Now to me that looks fine now, that looks absolutely fine. So I have actually changed it to shadows and it looks brilliant, so I'm quite happy with that. So the next thing I'm going to do is build upon the photographs that we took last week. Was it last week? I can't remember. I don't know what date it is. So we're going to build upon the photographs. So the next shot that I took was the other side of the bottle, and there it's there. And it's essentially the exact same thing. It's the exact same lighting setup. So we should have an identical light highlight on the side of the bottle on the left hand side, which we do, and it looks great. So same thing, I'm going to just burn down that shoulder very, very slightly. You don't have to do this, but I'm a wee bit of a perfectionist, so let's just burn that down, that's fine. Right, so now they're looking exactly the same, which is brilliant. The background isn't great looking, obviously, as you can tell, but when I start to build up the layers, you'll see that we're going to bring in a new background later on and it's going to look awesome. So the next thing that we're going to work on is the Bailey's logo. And as you can see, I can just flick that on and off. There's a little mistake there that I've obviously not went over. Let me just check that. So to bring things back in from your mask, I should mention all of these photographs now have a mask on them. So you put a mask on it, paint it black, then use a white brush to bring in the detail that you want to retain in the picture. So the Bailey's, that brush is far too big. I'll bring that down a bit. So basically there's a tiny little mistake here. You can see it's just on that highlight, which I don't want to do anything to. So we're going to go back to the label. There we go, just burn that down, and then I can click back on the black again to bring back that highlight. There we go. So that looks much better. I'm literally just going over really small imperfections on the label, making sure that everything's nice and sharp as well. But so far, pretty happy with it. So the next thing I'm going to do is move on to image number 3, or layer number 3 I should say, which is the, do you remember I was photographing the front of the neck of the bottle, and then I also photographed the little sort of icon with a very, very soft light hitting it to sort of make it sort of, just to highlight it a little bit, make it sort of bring it out, the detail a little bit more. Because when I'm looking at any kind of bottle, you're looking for anything that's a little bit different on the bottle that makes it stand out. I mean, if I said to you, for example, the Harris gin bottles, they've got a very distinctive look about them, and you want to sort of highlight what that is to bring out the brand essentially, and to show what the brand's all about. So for the Bailey's logo, we literally just painted it back in. We made sure that all the lines were, we made sure that all the layers were completely aligned, and then brought the label back in a mask, and it looks cool. We didn't have to do very much to it, to be honest. A little bit of tidying up, I suppose, to make sure there wasn't any spots or anything like that on the, so I used the clone tool and I used the spot removal tool to make sure that there wasn't anything on the label that shouldn't be there, because I did clean it before I photographed it. So that was the six. That's the next one. The next photograph is awesome. I can get to work. So this is one of the iron pictures that I took. I ended up taking a couple of pictures. So hang on. I ended up taking a couple of pictures just to make sure that I got the right sort of swirly smoke that I wanted. And this picture is really cool, I absolutely love it. So I've added that on top of the Bailey's bottle, and as you can see, it does take away quite a lot from the contrast of the bottle. Because it's smoke, it is going to do that, and plus we were lighting it up with a hydration pack attached to a speed light, so to give it that sort of bluey colour. You'll also notice on the left hand side there's a big dirty mark. I will fix that in a minute. But yeah, so there's the smoke, literally exactly the same, painted it black, brought in where I wanted the smoke to actually be in the bottle. There's a lot of the smoke that's not in the picture here that I've completely ignored. So the reason for that is because I got another picture of smoke which sort of filled in the gaps in the top that I was looking for, and that looks like this. So that then is coming in the top of the picture, so you've kind of got like a direction of travel now, which is what I was kind of hoping for. And the smoke is kind of coming down, surrounding the bottle and going in front of the bottle, which is giving it that really cool 3D effect as well. And then the next photograph we're going to move on to as part of this composition is the glass. Now at the moment the glass looks a bit odd. There's the glass itself is absolutely fine. So on the same surface, the only difference is it was sitting on a gold reflector, so I've kept that gold reflector because I quite like that warmth that the colour of that adds to the photograph, and it doesn't detract from the other half, because you've got that sort of cool colour from the smoke, and then you've got this sort of gold colour from the reflector, which is bouncing up onto the glass and making it look quite golden, and I like that contrast in colours. Those sort of teals and oranges work really well together. So we've got the glass, at the moment it looks a bit odd, so we'll add some ice. Now the only difference I did with this ice cube was I obviously selected it, rather than taking the whole image and selecting the whole image, I just selected it with a marquee tool and copied and pasted it essentially. So it's probably a different way of doing things, it's probably easier ways of doing it, but this is how I kind of learned how to do it. So I just copied and pasted one ice cube at a time from the ones that I basically handpicked, the ones I wanted, and then brought it over into this image, pasted it on this image, and then went to blending mode, which is up here. And if you go down to lighten, because the ice cube is on a dark background, if you click lighten, it will automatically delete all the black in that tiny little bit of the marquee. So I used a circular marquee to select the ice cube, and then any black that was around it has now been completely deleted from the ice cube. It looks brilliant. It makes it basically blend in the background, and I can move that ice cube anywhere, fingers crossed, and you shouldn't be able to see anything apart from the cube itself. So let's just have a real look and see if that's true. So there's that one. There you go. So you can see from that I can move that cube anywhere in the picture, and it is completely transparent apart from the white bits that are left on it, which gives it its awesome highlight. So I'll just undo that so I remember exactly where it goes. And then we'll move on to the next ice cube, which is going to be slightly different. So this one here was deliberately taken from a photograph of the glass with the ice cube half in, half out the glass, because I wanted to make it look as realistic as possible. So again, selected that from the other picture, copied and pasted it into this picture, selected lighten on the blending mode option, and then just put it into position where I wanted it. I wanted a very sequential fall, so I wanted them to look quite uniform as they fell into the glass. So that's why I've placed that one there. And again, this one is slightly different. So this ice cube on its original photograph was actually closer to the gold reflector, so that's why it's got that really cool gold highlight running through it. But I did the exact same editing on this as I did with the other two. I selected lighten on the blend mode, and it does the same thing. It retained the gold colour though, which is really, really cool, and it meant I could place it into the photograph and add it. And I think that sort of cool and orange highlights in the ice cubes is even just a very really, really small detail that adds quite a lot of it adds a bit more tone to the picture, and it sort of complements the tone of the picture, I think, as well. So again, same with the last one. The only thing I did with this one that was different was I rotated it so that they're not all falling in the same direction, all looking exactly the same. They are falling in the same direction, but I want them to be sort of slightly rotated as they fell, and I think that really, really works well with this picture. And then last but not least, the rest of the pour. So this is actually a duplication of the original glass picture. So what I did was I took the glass picture again, copied and pasted it again, selected just the area that I wanted, stuck it in the picture, and then literally just painted out the glass from the second picture into this one, and then extended it by using the shift key to keep the, if you click the shift key while you're dragging things, it will keep it at its original size, so it means it won't get all skewed and weird looking. So then I just added that to the top, dragged it up to the top of the image to make it look like it's a really, really long pour. Which you can do, by the way. I used to be a cocktail flarer, and you can actually pour them that long if you want to. You're just going to have to, as you're pulling it up, it looks really cool. So essentially that's the finished photograph. Apart from this stuff here I would just group into one sort of layer group, and I'll show you how to do that just now. So if I wanted to do any additional edits to the picture without affecting, that'll affect the whole overall image, all I do is just drag it above. So we'll just put a linear contrast, for example, on this, or maybe I want it really, really contrasty. Yeah, let's make it medium contrast, and we will drag that, make sure that is above the group, otherwise if it's below the group, the changes won't be applied. It's just deleted itself. I'll do that again. Or hue and saturation as well. These are quite fun. You can probably go nuts with these, especially because it is a composite. It's not supposed to be really, like, you can add any of these layer adjustments from this panel here, and you can also, as long as you select it above your group, you can pretty much do whatever you want to it. You can also do this within the group as well and select individual layers. So for example, if I wanted to just make that smoke a different colour, it's really easy to do that. So I would go to where the smoke is and do a hue saturation, right? And then literally the easiest thing about this is you hit, I don't know if I remember how to do it. No, it's Alt, right? So if you hit Alt and click above your layer and you select the layer below, it will only apply to that layer. So there's a wee tip for you. So now I can change the hue, hopefully. It's only that top one, that's alright. I'll do it to the bottom one. Done it on the wrong layer. Delete that layer now. Yep. Right, and we'll change this layer. Right, again, Alt, select, change it. There you go. So now it's changing the colour of the smoke in that one layer. If you want to make it red or orangey colours, you can change it to whatever you want. But bear in mind you will have to do that, or you could have two-tone if you wanted, if you've done what I've done and made different smoke layers. So I'll put that back to where it was. I also had this shot here, which I should show you. I'll just keep the screen recording on actually. This was a shot that I ended up not using at all because I loved the way that it looks like it's defying gravity by hitting the glass and then pouring into the glass and then pouring out of the glass at the same time. And it was a complete fluke and a complete accident, but I really liked it. But I couldn't really find a way to make it work with the composition, so I ended up just leaving it and just going with a sort of straight down pour. Plus it would have meant I'd have had to have had the hand holding the bottle in the image as well somehow, and I knew that I wanted to keep it as a very tight square crop, so I didn't want to make extra space at the top for the hand to come in and stuff as well, so it didn't really work. So I just ended up keeping it out. But that is pretty much what I do. Like for, I should mention as well, always save a PSD of your, if you want to go in and tweak it and play with it at a further date, always save your file as a PSD, because it just means you can go back in and tweak it and play about with it. And then once you've saved it as a PSD, then you can go back in and save it as whatever format you want for printing or whatever you're using it for. I hope this gave a wee bit of an overview. This was never going to be an in-depth sort of tutorial. It's an 18-minute screen recording. You'd better enjoy this. I'm going to go put this together for you. I'm not sure when I'm going to upload it, but you know it's out with the scheduled days. My scheduled days are usually Tuesdays if you're new to the channel. It's a bit of an ad hoc video that I wasn't really sure how to make. I haven't done these before, so this is the first time I've actually sat down and done a sort of, this is how I edit. Usually this is what me and my friend Jim do. Me and my friend Jim meet up for coffee every so often, and we'll get the laptops out, we'll just sit and edit photos together just to kind of talk through. He'll sort of show me his photos, I'll show him my photos, and we'll just sit and edit and chat about them. And it's really good because it gives you another perspective as well on how your photos look. He'd probably think this was rubbish. But I hope you're doing well, Jim. So on that note, I hope you're all doing really well. And as I said earlier, next week's video is going to be all about abstract, mini, man-made or women-made landscapes. So that should be quite good fun. I'm quite looking forward to it. So I'm going to wrap up today's video here. I hope you've enjoyed it, and if you like this video then like and subscribe. So once again, stay well, stay safe, stay at home, and I'll see you all next week. Bye!